Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Rise of Nyarlathotep. We are finally free of the Fey courts. We have left the Mansion of Blood, and the Randos are traveling on a well-beaten path out of the Warped Woods. And look at that, we even have a nice new map. All right. Before we hop into all this, let's go around the table and introduce ourselves. My name is Lucas, and I'll be your DM for the evening. My pronouns are he, him. Ian.
Hi there, everybody. If you see me occasionally looking down, I'm making myself some coffee at late night because I'm sleepy. But my pronouns are he, they. I'm playing Weary, the artificer tiefling, who recently got a nice little obligatory artificer duster leather coat to do some matrix shenanigans eventually, some fancy armor. I'm probably gonna lose it knowing my track record with nice things that I get for my character, but it'll work out.
Meg.
Hi, I'm Meg, and my life is a disappointment. This is all I have left of wine. But I do have Taco Bell featuring my friends.
Sponsor us, Taco Bell.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is my dinner. If you see me looking down, I'm eating.
Mind your business.
Yeah. So my name is Meg. My pronouns are she, they, and I am playing your favorite socially anxious godling druid, Alora, who is still having their usual existential crisis. So,
Jess.
Hi there, I'm Jess. My pronouns are she, her. I don't have any wine or coffee or food, so I hopefully won't be looking down at anything. I'll be engaged, and I will be playing. I didn't mean it like that.
No, you're right, but whoa.
I'll be locked in. I'm so jealous. I wish I had Taco Bell. But yes, I will be playing Glyph, the Automata rogue, who just probably made a foolhardy deal with the Fey Queen and now has ADHD. So
perfectly good robot. You gave it anxiety.
Yes, my robot now has anxiety.
That's what we do here. Eve is sick this evening, unfortunately, but don't worry. She'll be back next week to yell at monsters and lift stuff up with her brain and blow things up. But Jason.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Jason, and I'll be playing Katak, the simply superb Plumerian bard. And I guess we are ready to get Baja blasted based on the themes going on right now.
Ooh.
real quick, Lucas, our captions are not showing up.
Oh no!
Oh, that is odd. I will take care of that. I actually have a whole one-shot written up about Baja Blast. That it never came to light. One day, everyone will get to enjoy it. Basically, it's about how Baja Blast started replacing all actual liquids in the world.
Oh,
like turning water into Baja Blast, and then it was becoming intelligent and converting human blood.
It's what plants crave, Lucas.
Yeah, it's got electrolytes, so. But yeah. All right. Well, hey, you know what? I might have a sign-up sheet. We'll see.
It's just really exciting. I love the idea.
While I get these subtitles fixed, for whatever reason they're not popping up, I will quickly say that our sound effects and music are coming from Sirenscape. We will get some wonderful sounds today. I made sure to. Did you know that in Sirenscape, if you want to, you can delete an entire section of saved sets of ambient noises, noises that you spend hours upon hours. And here's the thing, they have such a good system, it actually asks you 3 times if you want to delete it. And my tired brain went, yeah, I want to delete this one part of the section. I didn't realize I deleted the entire thing. So experience some brand new sound effects today as I have recreated the library. And we, of course, are sponsored by Roll20. If you want to have a virtual tabletop game, if you want to get out there and play with your friends, all sorts of games, they got more than just D&D. They got, they have the D&D 3.5, basically, of Pathfinder. They have Starfinder. They have, we were even playing games like Quiet Year we played, which actually is how this Croaken Valley has been formed. Ian helped create this place that you will unfortunately experience. So really looking forward to that. But they have all sorts of games, so check out Roll20. Sign up. It's free. Get some amazing games. Have some fun. All right. Still working on the subs, but last time on Dungeons and Dragons, our heroes were working hard. They were trying to figure out, how can we avoid talking about difficult things? And the answer was a mirrored house. So, through the powers of avoiding difficult conversations, the Randos managed to stay in the Feywilds for an extra day. And had a little bit of fun, had a little bit of yelling. You held up the line at the funhouse because you had your argument at the exit. So eventually you had to start yeeting people over in order for them to leave. Alora thinks that Alora saw their dead mom. Who was it? Was it their dead mom? I don't know. In the mirror, but we'll see how that unfolds. And Glyph now has an IOU with a Fey Queen, and that is always a really good situation.
Oh, sure, but when I do it, I get yelled at. But if Glyph does it, nobody says a goddamn
or was it Alora?
thing.
It was Alora? Oh, so Alora has the IOU. So
Oh, you scared me.
I have
Yeah,
notes.
I was like,
Don't
wow.
worry. No, Glyph just get rid of composure. That was it. Kratok now has an adopted son in the form of Forvin, who ate the contents of Kratok's stomach and saved Kratok from a day of acid reflux. TK is still with all of you, don't you worry, but where we are starting off, you are all just on your spider horses in the wagon, and you're moving along throughout the forest. And before, the forest itself was fairly spooky. There was no wildlife, but it already seems like birds are starting to come back. That, you're seeing insects flying around. There's tiny mammals that are coming back here. And just because we haven't done this in a while, Ian, tell me, what do the little monkeys look like that are in this section of the woods?
Ooh, okay, this is fun. So their faces are upside down? Their faces are just, what? Like full 180-degree turn. They're functionally exactly the same as a regular monkey you would find in a fantasy forest. But their faces are upside down and they're striped.
So these upside down faced monkeys are swinging around, chattering, watching you as you go. When they hang upside down by their tail, their face is right side up, staring at you, which throws you off a little bit. But you're traveling along, and Forvin tells you that where you're going to find Resmir, Resmir's secret facility, it's going to take probably about 4 to 5 days travel. So you have some downtime while you're just on your horses and traveling through the remnants of the warped woods and slowly moving into the enclave of Terra. Is there anything that any of you do or want to talk about during this time? It's fairly peaceful.
I don't know how the warp woods kind of bleeds into the enclave of Terra, but I think after a certain point and we get far enough away from where we entered the Fey realm, Glyph's magic clothes that they had, because they're not organic, the magic doesn't stick, so their suit kind of fades away and it turns back into their just layered look. And they're like, oh, it was too late in the season for pastels anyway. And then I would like to talk to Alora at some point.
That's convenient because I would like to talk to Kratok at some
Whoa.
point.
Oh, God.
Splitting into teams. All right, so Glyph, yeah, you ride your spider horse up next to Alora. and it's starting to slowly transition to the Enclave of Terra. This area of the Enclave is very swampy, so it's starting slowly to move into that type of biome. From before, it was kind of like a desolate, twisted forest, and it's slowly moving into the swamplands.
Okay. Glyph's very uncomfortable because they don't know what a swamp is. And learning from last time, now no one, I want this just to be a conversation with Alora and not the whole rest of the team like it turned into last time. So it's just Alora. And at some point, probably like the first day, I just kind of catch up to you and I'm like, Alora, may I say something?
Yeah, sure.
I just wanted to say, again, I was very worried about you in that last encounter with the giants. And I think the point TK was trying to make is that as a team, now we need to think about how our actions affect one another. And I know what it feels like to be absolutely alone. And I also know what it feels like to have your actions completely backfire. So I want you to know I understand. And I'm working on that, and I'm hoping we can both work on that. Because I don't want anything bad to happen to any of you.
You should probably tell her that too. She's the one keeping more secrets from us.
Secrets?
Well, I mean, she didn't exactly, like, state the true mission that she got from Rakashka. Or if she did, then I wasn't around when it was said. And then nobody else told me. But I stand by my decisions based off of my own experiences. And if we had the time, I of course would have included you all in that decision of what to do before I made the blood bond. That I will own up to. That was a mistake. I just couldn't think of anything else to do, and I panicked. But and like as I keep like just stuttering and stumbling, my succulent's getting redder.
Oh.
I just there's a lot going on, and nobody really seems to understand what's going on, and nobody's really communicating what's going on. Like Kratok is just around over here doing nothing. I gave him a fiddle. Who knows what that's gonna do? What the fuck is Weary doing? And then like immortality? Like I don't understand. And then you're over here becoming more sentient and self-aware, which is really cool, by the way. I'm proud of you. There's just a lot, and I appreciate the concern because the concern is mutual. I just wish we would communicate better in general. And it feels like because I did this whole bunch of little fuck ups, including the God one. I'll own up to that one. But a mess up or not, I still think that was the right choice. I would rather have a God on my side right now. At least on my side. And if they're on my side, then I can convince them to maybe not kill ya. Because I know there's some tension there.
There is a little bit of bad blood, as you would say.
A little, yeah. And it's just a lot. And I'm only like 20 years old, and like you said, like, I've been completely alone. How am I supposed to know what is the best thing overall? No one's ever told me that. I mean, you saw what happened to my parents. I saw my mom in the mirror house. That's where this came from. And now my succulent is just like this deep red. And there's a lot that I don't understand. And all I wish TK in particular would just understand is that I don't know either. But at least I don't take my insecurity out on everybody else.
Stepping back for a moment, did you say you saw your dead mother in the House of Mirrors?
Oh. Yeah.
Was she some form of undead? That sounds very dangerous.
I don't know. I was looking around trying to find a way out, and I saw her there in a mirror, and we talked a little bit, sort of talked mind. And she showed me how to regrow my succulent. Because remember, I put mine on the Warp Queen's husband's grave. Well, I didn't have one anymore, and I kind of need it. So my mom taught me how to make a new one, and it's this one.
That's
and like
very
as
lovely.
I'm talking, it's like it's coming back to like a little bit more of like just the green with like the red tips. It's like slowly fading back into normalcy.
Well, I don't know what happens when people die, but that sounds like a lovely interaction.
It was nice. It was really nice to see her, to see them again, and just kind of have that moment. I haven't seen either of my parents since I was 6. But I want you to know that I do have like our interests at hand, even though it's just a lot.
It is definitely a lot.
And scene.
See, you two sort of fall into silence as you're riding beside one another, and we go over to Kratok, whose tentacle hand is reaching out, trying to slap the monkeys, while Kratok just really isn't paying it much mind and just doing something else. And Kratok, your spider horse kind of like weaves around as Weary is the one navigating the wagon. You just end up coming closer to the wagon where Weary is.
Ah, great timing. I actually had some things to discuss with you, Kratok.
What's up?
Well, for one, I've been slowly trying to get everyone to engage in a small medical checkup, given our multiple interactions with the Far Realm. So that's the nicest way I can think of to say, what's up with your hand?
It's kind of got a mind of its own lately.
Yeah, that's not... don't think it's supposed to do that. Also, I've gotten so carried away with my other projects that I actually wanted to tell you what I found about the Kada, now that you have armor made of Kada. And can I roll an Arcana check to see if I can finally learn about the Kada?
Sure.
Oh my god, every time I roll this, I fail. And I've rolled it like 3 separate times. Oh, nat 20. Heck yeah.
So you stayed up all night the other night because you were just so frustrated. You were like, it's on the tip of my tongue. There's something here. And after looking this over and testing it on numerous things, you've determined that it uses some sort of like reflective property that it is recording or storing audio. You're fairly certain because you talked to Bernard at first about it, and you were learning about how Bernard was saying that Bernard heard these songs on there, and so you know that these are used to store audio. You would need a number of different machines in order to actually replicate this, and you understand the basis of the process of probably how they went about it to a degree, obviously, because there's a lot of different parts, but you are guessing this is just a piece of like forgotten magitech, and you don't know how Bernard Busybody found this in a bin somewhere, but this is probably something somebody went into like maybe some old facility and found it just sitting on a desk or in a drawer.
So the Kada is essentially a defunct way to store songs. There's some sort of machine that goes along with the Kada to translate this thing, and I hold it up, into music. So that I assume would apply to the rest of your armor. So you're just like cloaked in song if you think about it.
Kind of exactly what I kind of dream of. You know, just
Yeah.
forever cloaked in song.
Yeah, and they're all unknown songs that we'll never be able to hear unless I invent something to play these. So really, you're like walking in like liminal spaces here. I'm a big fan of the poeticism going on.
Well, I appreciate that, Weary. Maybe one day we'll figure out how to play it and I'll finally get to hear it.
You know, I'd like to figure that out. I have another project that's moved to the top of my list since I figured out immortality, and I say that with the most humble brag nonsense possible. Like, yeah, I just figured it out, no big deal. I haven't drank it yet. But in any case, I'm actually working on TK's new arm because the current one could use some changes that aren't carnivorous, if you understand.
Yeah. Speaking of which, would you take a look at my arm?
Right, that was my next order of business. I wanted some sort of medical examination just to make sure you're not. And I'm gonna go ahead and roll medicine if that's okay, Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna use that nice dice tray. Ooh. So that's a 12, but I'm gonna use my artificer ability, Flash of Genius, to give myself a +4 on an ability check. I get to do that 4 times a day because I can have this flash of genius that makes me do a little bit better at the things I try to do.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's ability checks or saving throws. So yeah, instead of a 12, it's a 16.
So you are looking at Krotok's arm, and it is just a simple case of magic pollution. This could be easily fixed with like a lesser restoration or dispel magic, just something like that, and Krotok's hand will be totally fine. This is not uncommon in the Arcanium because there is just so much magic being used, inventions going on, things going wrong, and a lot of the ley lines crisscross there, so it's common for magic pollution to affect people.
Oh, get a load of that. You know, I can actually fix this.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, no, I have it here, and I start reaching into my my bag to see if I can, and I go ahead and pull out, because I can prepare lesser restoration, and it's a new morning, so
For sure.
I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And I take out what appears to be like some sort of crushed root in like a suspension, so it's kind of like floating in this liquid. And I go ahead and throw some like shavings of metal inside, and I shake it. And it starts to turn into like a foam very quickly. So Weir just takes it and sprays the foam on top of the tendrily arm.
And it shrinks and changes, and it's a little unnerving to watch a tentacle shift into more like a talon-like hand. But Krotok, to you, it feels really weird. But you eventually have full control. Your hand is back. It's not moving around on its own anymore. You are a Plumerian with 2 Plumerian hands.
I'm a little shocked it was that easy.
There was like 3 NPCs who tried saying something, and usually one of you were like, "We're busy," or like, "We have something going on," and they're like, "Oh, okay, all right."
Well, in any case, I'm glad your hand is back to working order. I should do these medical checkups more often.
I know it's like probably not that difficult for you, Weary, but it really means a lot. Like, I can't tell you how many instruments I have in my bag that I haven't been able to play properly.
Oh God, you use both hands. We've left you literally unable to help us magically in certain scenarios. It's very irresponsible of us.
I have a couple one-handed things, you know, like I can play the lute one-handed, kind of tuck it under my wing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, that was very reckless of us. We could have died.
I mean, everyone's just doing their best, right? And I really appreciate it. So if there's something I can do to help you, just let me know.
No, I don't know. I feel like I've been neglecting my duties. I've been so obsessed with immortality that I've just been letting you all get magic pollutioned. We're gonna be better about that.
Krotok immediately pulls out the fiddle that Alora just won and starts playing it just for
Oh
fun.
god, that's made of gold. I thought it was a joke, but it's actually made of gold. How does it make noise?
We're about to find out.
Alrighty. Kritok, make me an Arcana check.
Oh boy. That's 9.
All right, so you definitely know this fiddle is magical. You are unaware of what it does as you're playing it. You're trying to get an idea of the kind of spells that are sunk into this. You know, it's definitely from the Fae, so it's going to have some sort of enchanting property, but it is just eluding you. But while you're playing it, it sounds absolutely beautiful.
Well, I don't really know what it's supposed to do, but I know there's some magic in this fiddle here.
That'll be helpful. I mean, you won it fair and square, so it should heed your commands, I hope.
Yeah, I mean, I never would have been able to play it before now, so thanks a million, Weary.
No problem. Oh god, I have so many little things that I haven't actually touched on. I take out the vial of Alora spit and I start to work on that while we return to the narrative.
So you're traveling along, and it is slowly shifting more and more into this swamp, and the bugs are starting to pick up as you're there. The ground is getting softer. It's getting a little trickier for the spider horse to pull along this wagon, but it's still a fairly well beaten path. So you're moving along. More puddles of water are starting to appear, and slowly they're getting larger as you're going further in. The trees are more of those like weeping willows, as instead of just like I don't know what kind of trees, the other fantasy trees that were there before. And so you're traveling in. Everyone, make me a perception check.
Yeah, I got a nat 1 for a 10. I think Glyph has never seen this many bugs or plants or birds or anything this natural, because the Foundry of Steel does not look like this anywhere, and they are very distracted.
It is not super pleasant as I try to adjust this little map here. All right, this is about as good as it's getting. So you are all coming in. If we look at the map, we are looking at the Croaken Valley. So this area is pretty swampy, and it is a very normal place where normal people live. Here we have a very large, it's a lake, but like there are little patches of land here and there. It's not super big. You can see the other side, but definitely if you fell in the middle of it, bad news bears. You are coming up along the side here. So you're outside a lot of the heavy trees, and now the path is starting to, it's not disappearing, but it's definitely not as well traveled. But let me just go around and see, what did everyone get again? Weary, what did you get?
I got a 21.
Oh, Alora.
23.
You got a 10, Glyph, and Kritok.
I got a 12.
All right. So Alora and Weary, you are traveling along, and you're starting to come up near the edge of the water. You're probably 15 feet away from it or so. As you're looking over, a lot of these bugs are starting to pick up, like I was saying before, and you see a face poke out of the water, and it's just staring at you. And the face itself looks like a combination of a human and a frog. Parts of it are really widened or elongated. There's a very wide mouth. The eyes are moved a little bit over to the side and are somewhat bulging. Their ears are kind of like melded a bit into their head. It definitely looks like it's some kind of transformation, but they're just staring at you from the water.
We have some voyeurs, as it were. And I point out the frog person.
Hi!
And they just dip into the water.
Oh, I'm sure that won't have any sinister undertones.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. Did I scare you?
Near
Are
the
frog people? Oh,
Go
are
ahead.
frog people common?
Not
Is
in
that
my
a
neck of
thing?
the woods.
Everyone roll me a history check.
Oh,
History of frogs.
it's really funny that the swamp I helped make, I am rolling horribly with
yeah.
knowledge about.
Facts.
I
I got a 5.
Oh god, I have a +7 to history. Way to go, having good intelligence.
got a 3.
5
You
or
got a-
3.
I got a 13.
Got a dirty 20.
Ooh.
All right. The rest of you are unsure. You never really heard of frog people. Kratok, you are a little more aware of the creatures and people of these forests, and there aren't any frog people. You definitely would have heard about it, and like Plumeria would have made it a thing. It would have been like, check out my frog friends I brought over from this weird valley. No, there aren't frog people. And so that's throwing you off.
I don't know what's going on here. These are our neighbors to the south, but in all my years, I've never heard of frog people.
Oh, they've heard of us now.
Perhaps it has something to do with the magical pollution from the warped woods.
But we fixed that. Must have happened recently then.
We'd probably have to talk to one to really figure what's going on.
Yeah, let's not make blanket assumptions on the frog people.
I'm gonna hop off my horse.
Hop.
All
Glyph
right.
was like, maybe we should leave. Okay, we don't
Yeah.
leave them alone. Okay.
I imagine you're walking over to the water's edge. You walk over to the water's edge, and their head pops up out of the water again. They stare at you.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, you speak common.
Yes.
Hi. My name is Alora. What's your name?
Name.
Mhm.
Oh. I am Mud Splatter. I have removed my heretic name.
Heretic name.
Alora is your heretic name.
But I am not a heretic.
Do you follow Croaken?
Croaken?
Yes.
No.
Croaken is a wise and kind leader, leading us into the mud sleep.
What is the mud sleep?
The mud sleep is the sleep when the winter arrives. So we do not face the dead.
What do you mean face the dead? Like people who have died?
The dead walk. Kratok, since you rolled so high on your history, you do know a thing or two about the Enclave of Terra. One of the main issues they have is they're really in all of the forests along the eastern tendril. There are copious amounts of undead, hordes of undead that just wander the forest floors. And usually they move in predictable patterns. There are often wardens that will watch where they're going and report where the different hordes of undead are moving. There's been many attempts to clear them out, but every time they wipe out hordes, just more keep showing up and they don't know where they come from. So you're guessing that if they're talking about a mud sleep in winter, then more than likely the pattern is that the dead walk through here around wintertime.
Interesting.
Have
Yeah.
you come to see Croaken?
Yes. Yes, we
Oh.
have.
Oh. Okay.
Can you take us to Croaken?
It's a bit of a walk.
We have time.
Do I?
Oh no, I don't know if I can get off work from the bog.
Don't
Laura.
know you.
Alora, we know the way to Croaken. Thank this person for his time.
I will speak to some people and we will find you a guide.
Thank you.
Very nice of you. What was your non-heretic name?
Mud Splatter.
Mud Splatter? Well, it has been a delight. I hope you have a very soggy day.
They open their mouth and a really long human tongue comes out and catches a fly and brings it back in as they sink below the water.
Ian, I hate you for making this.
Soggy day to you too.
I'm imagining because TK's with us, right?
Yeah. She
Yeah,
is
she's
saying
like,
things
we
like,
gotta go. Just
All
talking
mad at me,
frog
as
people.
always.
Well, we can expect a guide eventually. We should just keep going and see what we find.
Well, hey, Forvin,
yeah,
do you know where we're at?
yeah.
Okay. Do you know how to get to Croaken?
Yeah.
You don't sound very excited about it, bud.
Why do you want to see that nerd?
Just cuz.
Alright, I guess.
Well,
Is
we are-
Croaken near mask lady that we're trying to murder?
Yeah, like half a day deviation, but yeah.
Maybe we can talk to Croaken after we deal with our mask? Or Croaken will find us, given our invitation. So we should just keep doing what we're doing, and then, we'll get our guide and we can deviate then.
Maybe. Yeah, let's. I don't know. Kratok, do you have any objections?
I kind of want to find out what the heck's going on because I've never heard of any of these frog people or Croaken before. But I mean, they don't really seem inherently troubled or threatening, so we can just pass them by.
Yeah, we've seen weirder people affected by all sorts of things in our travels, so.
Oh, I hope
Okay.
Croaken is not another floating meatball.
Oh. I don't even have a robot to fight it in this time. I missed that robot. I shouldn't have left it in the town.
Okay. Well, Forvin, go ahead. Keep leading.
Alright. So Orvin is leading the way. You're going further into the valley, and you're moving along the side of this lake still. And every so often you see more of these frogly faces. Some of them are more frog-like than others, but they don't all seem like there are humans changing. Some seem like elves, some seem like dwarves. One horrifying one is a plumerian changing into a frog person, and it will stay in your dreams. You just keep on moving on. Everyone, make me another perception check.
I got a 17.
I got a 13.
I got a 24.
Excuse
I
me?
got a 4.
You
Damn, Jason.
must learn to see without your eyes.
Glyph does have heightened senses now, so
So Glyph, you are actually the
less
only
distracted
one
by the bugs.
who picks this up.
Hmm.
You can hear the sounds of people. They're walking in the brush, and they're almost keeping pace with you.
I say very quietly, I kind of pull my spider horse closer. Not to alarm anyone, but we are being followed. They're in the underbrush.
Can you detect what they are?
I can only hear
Species-wise?
them.
You can't see anyone.
Mm.
Do you have any scanners that like say friend or foe kind of thing?
Mm,
Does it
I
like
don't-
outline the character in red? you know?
Yeah.
Like-
let me ping them.
Yeah.
Goggles.
If Glyph can get predator vision, I'd be cool with that. That'd be really neat.
That would be really cool, Lucas.
Yeah, just like
Glyph.
There
have
are
just
thermal
like-
goggles for sure. I mean, I was
Yeah.
just playing a for funsy game of Dragon Heist, and my spouse made thermal goggles.
heck
Nice.
yeah,
They exist in the game.
cool.
I think we should just continue on and not do anything rash.
That's fine. We're out of the part of the woods where I'm not allowed to use fire, so if things get dicey, and I take out what appears to be a vial that is colored a bright orange and has a bunch of hazard labels on it.
It's just hot sauce.
Yeah. It's my new hot sauce. I'm going to sell it to them.
So you are moving forward, and eventually, Glyph, you're hearing more and more of this sound, and then you all hear halt.
Hmm?
And stepping out of the woods, you see there are a number of these bird folk. Unlike Croaken, as Croaken is a plumerian, these are the Talaros bird folk. These are more of birds of prey instead of more the colorful birds, like what Croaken is.
Birds
And
of
so
prey,
these
if
ones
you will.
stepping out are, you see, like 2 of them are ravens. You see one of them's a hawk, one of them's an eagle. As they're stepping out and staring at all of you, they have a number of weapons on them, armor. A lot of their gear is camouflaged, so you are having a hard time seeing them as they're blending in. One of them pulls out a picture, and a few of them are looking at it. Are you the Randos?
No.
I look around at how very noticeable we are, because we've lost all our disguises through all of our explosions.
A Croaken. We have an Alora, a Glyph, Weary. Where's the one that's TK?
I think the cat got her tongue.
Is TK just gone from the wagon?
TK's not there.
I thought it was the cat. That would have been easier to explain. I just realized the cat that steals Kratak's tongue
Ducky?
is literally cat got your tongue.
Yeah, that's why I did
Oh
it.
my god, I'm stupid. God, it took me like 3 months to figure that out.
Ian, I adore you.
Oh my god.
No, we're the group called Sadnar.
Is that just Randos back?
And I just I like yank Weary in with like a vine into the like wagon. Shut up.
We're very recognizable. They know it's us.
Listen, you are wanted for questioning. You left the encampment very quickly. You were heavily involved in the Doom Cube incident and the massacre of Geldspar.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The massive Doom Cube floating in the sky in the Arcanium. You were all in a coma.
I think you might be. I'm just gonna play along at this point. I think you might be mistaking us for, another group of people that fit that exact description. There's a lot of circus performers that have the same exact vibe as us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to believe this, but I am going to need you all to come with us. We have a warden's outpost not too far from here.
Oh, like
My mama always said to not talk to strangers.
you just talked to the.
Shut up!
Talking to us for some time now. and lying.
I was gonna say-
I just told you who we were. I didn't say nothing else.
You
Wait,
lied
more-
about who you were, and your friend then corrected you.
You have
I'm-
no proof that I lied or not.
And I'm often wrong, and that it looks painful for Weary to say that.
Kratok tries to kind of interject. He says, "Look, okay, my friends are a little bit wary of being approached by people they don't know. We've had quite a time lately, I'll put it. But to all of you, and he kind of turns to the party, if we're just honest about what happened, I don't think we have any issues with any of them. The Talarians they're honorable people.
Right.
They're nodding at this. They're like because they had a Plumerian with them.
Oh,
It hopefully won't take long. We have to go back to our outpost. We have a number of places that are up in the trees. We can avoid any unwanted guests.
would those be the frog people by chance? I'm sensing a sort of turf war vibe here.
Croaken's followers. They are a nuisance, but you needn't concern yourself with them. I highly suggest not joining their ranks unless that's a look you're going for.
Oh, absolutely not.
I have to ask, do you know when they emerged around here? I've never heard of them, and, they're sort of neighbors.
Happened around 5 years ago. There was an expedition coming through here. Tried to dig something up for some dwarven king, but they weren't successful. And then suddenly all these, they call themselves frog folk or followers of Croaken, just all started popping up here. They built some ramshackle church over top of a devouring pit, and they claim Croaken is there. We should leave, though. We're near Mudsleep, and that's their main city.
Oh. Spooky.
You see now a number of the frog folks' faces are popping out of the water behind the Talarians.
Back there.
They're slowly coming out of the water. Some of them have spears, some of them have clubs.
They're behind you.
Oh, shit. All right, everyone. Damn it, they have a wagon. All right, just make loud noises and make things bright. And they start, like, clanging their swords on their shields, and some of them are casting spells to make, like, bursts of light. We are going to enter into a skill challenge as we try to get away from the frog folk. All right, everyone. Roll me initiative.
Ooh.
18.
10.
Nice.
15.
I'm gonna ask
23.
you all these
Whoa.
numbers again because I realized my book was not out.
Nice.
Nice.
It's called Being Prepared. All right. So, Weary. What'd you get?
Yes. I got a 10.
10? Kratok?
23.
Allura?
18.
And Glyph?
15.
Okay. So it's been a minute since we did a skill challenge. I'll just recap it super quick for anybody who may not have participated in one of these. But so the gist of it is that in the skill challenge, you're generally trying to overcome a more cinematic moment. In this moment is a chase scene. So the randos are going to be trying to get away. And so what we do is that there's a set DC for each round of the skill challenge. You need either a certain amount of successes or a certain amount of failures to go to the next round. Hit the amount of failures, something really bad happens. Hit the amount of successes, it's good, you move on to the next one, and then the DC gets higher. So for this first round, the DC is going to be 13. And we are starting off with Kratok. Kratok, DC 13, what would you like to do to either get moving away from these frog folk or distract them, or what would you like to do?
Pratok is going to take the Talarian advice very seriously. He's going to kind of do like an eagle screech as best he can, which I will. If I roll badly, I'll make the sound he actually makes. And he's also going to try to like kind of turn and spin and glint his armor to sort of intimidate them with the light as well.
Ooh, using the Cadiz. All right. So are you going to use Intimidate?
Sure.
Okay.
That's a 19.
All right, Kratok, so you start spinning and screeching, and the frog folk immediately start taking a few steps back. They're confused. What is this flashing armor before them? From Kratok, we go to Alora.
I'm gonna kind of like pole vault myself up into a tree.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just kind of like try to get myself up high.
All right. I would say that's either an acrobatics or an athletics.
Let's try. I would say acrobatics just because they usually go like gymnastics stuff. So okay. For a 16.
16. That is success.
Yeah.
So what does this look like when you pole vault up?
Kind of like Olympic gymnast people do, where it's just like she's just like okay, and like uses their quarter staff to kind of just like hoist himself up with like a little help from like gust of wind sort of thing. So it's just like I literally
Just
like
screaming
a breeze just as I like try to get up onto like a steady tree branch, like just get up there and land.
You just hear a lot of whoa as they watch you fly up there. We go to Glyph.
Okay. With my phase bow, you said those arrows are silvery. Are they like, do they glow?
Yeah, it'd be a little bit of glowing. Not
Okay.
like enough to light the way or anything like that, but yeah, though.
I don't have anything. Just start making like tornado alert noises.
Sure. I don't know when you would roll. I guess intimidate.
Probably intimidate, yeah. I got an 18.
Ducking covering.
All right, that is the last success you need for this round. Glyph is making horrifying sounds because I don't think any of you have heard this before. And the frog folk are now very concerned. They're all stepping back. You see now coming out of the swamp, there are more and more of these very, very large toads. They are probably about 8 feet tall, but they're very wide, very long, and they are starting to like come out of the water. And you see that there are spikes along their back, and they even have spikes that form into a bit of a mohawk.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
And it is Weary's go. So the DC now
Alright.
is 14. You need
Okay.
2 successes or 2 failures.
So, Weary. There are many options here, but I'm going to go with some spell work. So, Weary is going to take a look at what they have available at the moment, and knowing that this is a bog and that bright lights are scary, there's probably some flammable gas in the air.
Yeah.
Weary's going to take out that orange bottle with all the hazard signs on it, and then, like, pull the tab off of it and chuck it into the air and cast Flaming Sphere. So what it is the bottle itself has a minor enchantment in it that lets Weary, using like the Pesca glove, just sort of move it around. So there's just a ball of flame that's between the group and the frogs now that immediately catches some of that flammable gas on fire. So I'm going to go ahead and cast that spell, and I guess that's an Arcana check?
Yes.
Cool. Oop. 17.
All right. So you hurl this, and the flaming spear explodes. And there is some swamp gas that lights up and forces a bunch of the frogs to go immediately underwater, taking their weapons with them. Some of the larger toads are now looking towards the cart as they're moving towards it. These wide eyes are looking at the spider horses as their mouths are starting to open. We go to Kratok.
Pratok is really just going to kind of start getting moving with Secretariat. Going run away. Start running.
All right. Animal handling?
Sure. 16.
So, Kratok, you hit those reins, and Secretariat is A-okay to get the hell out of here. And the other spider horses are starting to follow suit as you are just moving along. The Talarians are taking to the air and starting to fly alongside you, and now the frogs are just jumping out of the water. These large toads are just starting to leap, and every time they hit the ground, it's this resounding thud. And the Plumerians are like, "This way, follow us!" Or Talarians. I'll get it right, don't worry. They are slowly trying to lead you around this amount of trees and everything, and away from the water. We go from Kratok to Alora. So the DC now, you only need 2 successes or 2 failures, and the DC is 15. You are muted.
I'm gonna do a 2-for-1 if you'll let me. Kind of. It's sort of just magic all at once that, as usual, Alora didn't realize they could do. I'm gonna kind of just spring my way from branch to branch to try and keep up. But while I'm doing it, my steps are creating thunderclap.
Okay.
So it's just these cracks of thunder, just really loud.
Sure. I'd say roll me a magical attack.
Or a 17?
So, Alora, you are just bounding from tree to tree to tree, and each time this clap of thunder hits out, and the tree branches, some of them are falling, some leaves are coming down, and it is definitely scaring them more away from the tree line that you're all trying to hug while you're trying to get away from the water. And we need one more success. Glyph, it is your go.
Okay, so TK was gone. Is Bubbles still in the wagon?
Yeah.
Okay. I imagine Bubbles is banging around in the wagon. I kind of pull back, and I bang on it, and I say, what's the command? Bubbles, bark. And I don't want him to sick them. I don't want him to jump out of the wagon. I just want him to be on the back of the wagon just barking.
Okay.
So I guess it's animal handling.
Yeah.
I'm natural 20 for a 26.
So Bubbles is barking, and already everything was just happening around them. The fire is burning the swamp gas around there. There is this resounding claps of thunder, and there's a horrible siren coming from Glyph, and then Bubbles starts barking, and they all decide it's just too much work, and they move back to the swamp and head off into mud sleep. Congratulations, you had a perfect skill challenge.
Ooh.
Rolled a nat 20 to get a dog to bark.
Yeah.
Bubbles loves me.
So you get away from mud sleep, and you're more. It's kind of a trail. It looks like it's more a foot trail, but you're navigating the wagon. It is a little difficult, and the Talarians, they end up landing, and everyone comes to a halt. Well, that could have gone really, really badly. The frog folk don't like us wardens. They believe that we're heretics trying to harm Croaken, but we're just here to keep an eye on things.
Like what?
Well, the undead come through here. We have to make sure things are fine. We have been seeing a lot of activity from, I don't know if it's merchants or bandits or what, but they've been coming through here quite a bit. There was 2 wagons just a week ago.
2?
Yes, they were filled with a lot of supplies.
What do you guys think?
That sounds like our target. They were ahead of us by a little bit, if you recall.
Yeah.
Your targets?
We need to have a very thoughtful conversation with some people.
Well, let's get back to the base, just to make sure we're not going to be harmed by anything.
Right.
So you follow along the Talarians, and they eventually take you to this area where it's pretty heavily wooded, but there is a path that's been cleared for carts to come through, as they need to bring supplies to this base every now and then. And so you're moving the wagon through it, but normally they bring a lot smaller carts, so you're really breaking through like a number of branches. The canvas on the wagon is getting torn at. Bubbles is jumping up and trying to like snap at leaves and tree branches that are sticking through every now and then. And is there anything you'd like to talk to them about while you're on your way to the base?
Not to them, but at some point I get close to Weary and I whisper very, very quietly, Weary, if they think I am non-sentient, you may have to pretend that I work for you.
Are you okay with that?
Yes. It will save us a lot of trouble, probably.
Right. Okay. Should we expect trouble? They seem to be mostly on the up and up.
Sentient automata are not common. I don't know what they would do.
Right. I won't feel bad about having to hurt them to protect you, but at the same time, it's nice to have an armed guard while we walk through Toad Country.
It is.
So, I mean, at the very least, they have weapons and can defend us should things go south. Maybe we can convince them to help with the mask situation. If they know about... Well, we'll see how they act after questioning.
Maybe they will think I am biological.
Well, that too. Well, is Glyph still disguised, like, fully, or is...
Oh, yeah, still scarfed, still hat.
Oh, okay.
It's still the look.
Okay. I
Still
wasn't sure.
Sunglasses.
Yeah.
It's just nicer layers now.
Yeah. Regardless, I will be defending you, and I won't feel bad about hurting other people to protect everyone here. So, I will pretend that you work for me. That feels weird to say. And hopefully we can get through their little line of questioning and do our job. Because the less masks that are out there, honestly, the better.
Thank you, Weary.
Of course.
Kotak would ask the Talarians,
Mm-hmm.
So, after this post, where are you off to? Are you going to be around Plumeria anytime soon?
We were stationed out here recently, but I'm scheduled to go back to Plumeria in a few weeks' time.
Oh, I'm doubtful I'll be there, but if you ask around for me and I happen to be, you'll be an honored guest.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
I appreciate the advice for those frog people. I never would have thought to try to scare them off like that.
They've been a bit of a nuisance lately. We weren't thinking that they were going to be violent or hostile, but the more we've tried to interact with them and the more we pushed back on joining their religion, the more hostile they seem to get.
Hey,
They
maybe we
believe that
could,
they're saving people by having them join their ranks. It's a common thing, I suppose, with religion.
I know we're kind of crossing borders here, but maybe we could send a couple agents out for you. There are some Plumerians that are masters of disguise, and maybe they could infiltrate the frog people.
I mean, if this is something Plumeria is interested in, we would seek assistance. We would need to speak with some government officials, though, to make sure it gets cleared.
Well, I won't say anything for sure, but let's just say I'm interested, and I do have a little bit of sway.
Are you in the government structure of Plumeria?
I'm not at a liberty to say at the moment.
Well, I will keep this on the hush hush. I know you Plumerians do enjoy a lot of gossip there, and I imagine you'd probably want to avoid a little bit of talk of you under the illusion of being arrested. We're not arresting you. We need to question you. Although, I'm afraid
I never took this as an arrest. We're just talking.
the Fellstone mercenaries are of a different mindset, but, well, they have no jurisdiction here.
That's good.
So it takes a little bit longer, a few hours of traveling along this path, but eventually you come into a clearing, and you see that there are these massive trees that are lifted high, high up into the sky, and there are these tree houses that are built up top, and walkways that go all along, fairly large platforms that are set up. And there are lifts that lower down to put wagons, put horses, other things, because I often don't like to leave them down on ground floor, as there is a lot of dangers here in the Enclave of Terra. So a lift comes down to load up your wagon, spider horses, and everyone aboard, and the Talarians just go ahead and fly up to the top to meet you there. When you get to the top, it's not lavishly decorated around here, but it doesn't look decrepit by any means. It's just very much, it's efficient. They have what they need. There are a lot of crates of supplies here and there. There are tarps put over crates. There are a number of houses. Some of them actually look to be almost like longhouses that were set up to have a lot of people stay in them, but it doesn't look like there's as many guards here as there are houses to complement them. So it seems a little strange that there's such a large setup here with so few guards, but the Talarians, they lead you to an area where you can leave your spider horses and have them attended, and they bring you into one of the huts there. Inside, there is it's not a fire, as they don't like to use fires when they're up here on the trees, but there is, it looks like a lot of these mushrooms that are set up in this stone circle, and the mushrooms are put inside there, and they're giving off a gentle light. And it seems to light up the whole area quite well. Please, take a seat. Is there anything you need? Anything to eat, drink?
You know, it has been a while since I've had a normal meal that isn't carnival food. Can I have a salad?
Yeah, of course.
I love a salad right now.
And they actually, when they're bringing out food, like they're bringing out regular food for all of you, but Kratok, it has been a while since you've seen proper bird folk food. They bring you out. You got like some good insects. There is some meat there and stuff. Like it's the stuff kids crave in Plumeria, and you are actually getting just food that's gonna sit well with your stomach for once.
I gotta hand it to you. I was expecting to get an MRE here. This is fresh and really top tier.
I will say this about the Croaken Valley: there is an abundance of insects. So we've had a good eating the entire time we've been stationed here. Really, ever since the incident of 5 years ago, the amount of insects here has been increased quite a bit.
Very, very interesting news for, food suppliers, I would think.
Oh, yes. I have a feeling it has something to do with this Church of Croaken, as they all consume insects as well, but... So, yes.
Did they bring Glyph a plate?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, I kind of you can't really see my eyes, but I kind of catch Weary's eyes, and I'm like, okay. Great. I will sit and pretend to eat.
All right.
Because everyone's eating, I assume.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Well, I don't believe I had formally introduced myself. But, and this Talarian who's been talking with you most of the time is one of the ravens. And as they're settling themselves down in a chair, they're at this desk, they have a number of things for writing. My name is Captain Shadespeare. I have been stationed here just recently, but there has been news going out to all the different warden areas to try to locate all of you, as well as your companion, TK, but well, we haven't seen them. Can you explain to us, because I don't think anybody's been able to get a proper idea, what the hell happened at Geldspar?
Is that the town we set on fire?
No, that was the town with
I'm
the
sorry?
Doom Cube.
I think it was Greenest.
That was the
It's
Doom
Greenest,
Cube town.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, did I say Geldspar? My
Yeah.
bad. Oh, call back.
We're all
to
like,
the
is that
other
another
one.
town? Is that another town?
Sorry.
Did we
set
blow
on
up
fire?
another
Yeah.
town that we didn't know about? Because
No,
that's just
our
awkward.
other adventuring group, Death Shift, blew up that town. So what happened at Greenest? No one knows. It's just the Doom Cube was there. So many people dead. The Dark Blade was present.
Cliff is cutting their food into little bitty pieces,
Did
just
TK
very deliberately.
Did TK take the Dark Blade with her?
Oh,
I think that'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Sweet.
yeah.
That'd be cool. I'd like that.
Well, there was a bit of an invasion of Greenists, and we tried our best to give advance warning to the townsfolk so they could deal with it. And basically, a large-scale brawl, fight, war, battle, whatever you want to call it, broke out, kind of escalated, resulted in a big explosion. And when we awoke, there was a Doom Cube situation. So we went and, we kind of investigated. Not sure if there's more that you're hoping to hear from us.
Well, what enemy invaded? And did they have this Doom Cube to start with?
Kratok kind of looks to the others a little bit.
The enemy was the Cult of True Chaos. The Doom Cube was an unknown factor that came into play later in the fight.
Oh. We've been watching this cult. They've been militarizing themselves. We have been warning the people of the Arcanium time and again, but the wardens, we don't have jurisdiction there. We only just set up our first outpost. Well, I'm not surprised that this cult has decided to take action. Those poor citizens of Greenest. To think the cult would bring this Doom Cube there and perform some foul ritual. Horrible. The Dark Blade, though, a blade of power, it hasn't been seen for at least 10, 15 years. Do you know how that got there?
Unfortunately, no.
You want to make that deception?
Yes.
Commit to lying.
So
I would
bad.
like to make a
Is
deception.
it a lie
Hammer
of
down.
me as Megan? Like, I don't fucking remember, but also.
I mean, we have the dark blade.
No, the
they
dark
don't need
blade
to
was-
know that.
The Darkblade was inside of Glyph. Like part of it
Yeah,
was.
we had to put
and,
it together during that fight.
Yeah.
And like we brought the Doom Cube, we brought the Dark Sword, Dark Blade.
We didn't bring the spooky hammer that
We didn't.
the metal
Ah.
pharaoh stole.
You said
So-
deception, right?
Yes.
I got an 18.
Not bad.
You started off that sentence like you had failed gloriously, and I was excited and terrified.
My dice love me.
God, must be nice.
Yes. I don't do failure well, thank you.
Hmm. Well, we need to figure out who is bound. There's rumor that it's all of you. I don't see the Darkblade here, though. Was it your friend, TK, who's bound to the Darkblade?
No.
It's more of a partnership thing with the dark blade.
Let's see.
TK has a partnership with the Darkblade.
Oh, like
Like a friendship?
yeah, like we have a very close friend. Ugh, feels weird to say. Friendship with the dark blade, all of us.
It's like
sometimes
friends
it's
with
more
work
like an
benefits.
MLM.
Sometimes it's like an MLM. Wait, does that mean MLMs exist in Plumeria?
Definitely exists.
Oh,
in
that's the
Plumeria.
worst. I'm so sorry. Why would you make that canon?
All right. Interesting. I was not expecting that answer. Okay.
It's a lot. It was a lot.
Is it true
I turned
the
into a
Darkblade can
Thunderbird.
talk?
Yes, and I really wish that he wouldn't.
Oh yeah, you get like a dark like cloud over Weary's eyes, just like yes, the dark blade can
That
talk.
Attack on Titan look, where they just like a dark shadow.
Staring forward, thinking of murder.
Anything, they don't shut up. But
Yes.
they have Darkblade has come in handy for severe circumstances. But it's an easy enough like partnership that he goes back where he needs to, and we keep
Alright.
him safe like he keeps us safe. So it's a mutual benefit thingy.
So I'm going to assume then that TK is with the Darkblade.
It has been kind of quiet lately.
Okay.
TK
Right.
is with Darkblade.
Sorry?
One might say TK is with Darkblade.
Okay. Well, this is good to know. You see, recently, just a little more than a week ago, the 20 have met up. All the kingdom's leaders. There is big movement that's been going on, and I don't know, they don't tell us everything. I really wish we would get more information so we knew how to prepare ourselves, but they don't like to involve the wardens a whole lot. They believe that we are too pushy. But we know that something's afoot in this cult of true chaos. It makes sense they're at the center of it all. I do not understand why the Fellstone mercenaries are so adamant that you all stay out of this matter. They want you not involved with traveling around and dealing with these groups. If anything, they're calling on to different nations to keep you in holding.
Cliff has like stopped fake eating like halfway.
I have been asked to keep you here, but something doesn't feel right.
Not to, force control of this situation. We heard murmurings of something that sounded like almost the exact opposite of the Darkblade.
Right blade.
Sort of. Yeah. Is that what it is?
It's the counterpart to the Darkblade, yes. It's balance, I believe.
We did sort of hear something along those lines was around here in someone's possession, some capacity. Would you know anything about that?
No, we haven't had any word, though we're missing a patrol unit. They went into the Warped Woods not too long ago. We were actually waiting on another one of our wardens to come back from the Arcanium, Greta, but we haven't seen her either. Something's happening in those woods. Well, the Bright Blade is, from my understanding, I'm no arcane scholar, but it is it's supposed to be that which balances the Dark Blade, and I guess it has an opposite personality. But generally, the wielder of the Bright Blade has to be someone pious, someone true.
I would imagine they're also very employable. I'm just thinking of how, like, weird Darkblade is and probably just would not work well with anyone.
You know the Bright Blade, it's probably like super polite, but in an annoying way.
It's definitely polite society. All right. Well, this gives us a lot to think about. You should stay here for the night, at the very least. I will contact our order and should figure out. Also know that those in magic are also looking for you to try to help you settle down for a bit.
I don't really. I think it'd probably be best if they stayed out of our way.
Well, I feel conflicted. It doesn't sound like you're working alongside this cult.
No, we've not been a fan of any of the cults we've run into so far.
We would never consort with the cult of true chaos.
Why are you here in Croaken Valley?
Get to the other side.
We're all fucking
through.
chickens.
You're just passing through. Oh.
I couldn't think of anything else. I'm so sorry. My brain was like,
Yeah, like a chicken does.
So good.
Is Forvin like a parent to them? Like, do they see Forvin flitting about and stuff, or is Forvin just
Forvin
always,
is
like,
not
tucked
flitting
away?
about. Forvin is at the moment hiding. You feel them on your shoulder, Kurtok, but you don't see them.
oh.
So I'll just say, so we have another little mission. This one's actually secret, so I can't tell you much about it, but that's actually kind of what brought us through here. I think our navigation instructions are kind of flawed, though. I don't know why we came here.
Oh. Where are you trying to get to?
Place. We don't know the exact destination. Actually, you might be able to help us. So you were speaking earlier about those wagons that came through here before. That sounds like wherever they went is where we may want to go.
So you're hunting after the people in the wagons. Do you know who the people in the wagons were?
Not for sure. Did they see him on the culty side?
I did not get a good look at them. We only know that 2 wagons were traveling through here very quickly. They were heading towards the Croaken Mountains.
It's just a suspicion then. I don't really know for sure.
Does this, just because I can't remember the map, does this part of it go up and down or east or west?
Like the actual, like, full-blown map?
The actual direction to get to Rasmir.
Yeah, you'd
So I
be...
can lie my way out of here. I can't remember.
You'd be traveling north
Okay.
to get to Rasmir. Well, we will have some beds set up for you. I need to contact the base and see what they're going to think about all this. I'll tell them what you told me, and maybe we can get some of this sorted. But it's already starting to dip into the evening, and you don't want to be out there when they're wandering around. There also are some dead that you should avoid. The glowing ones are fine. They're harmless. They just wander around, completing strange jobs, but the other ones are the problem.
Why are there dead here?
There's dead all throughout the forests.
Why?
I'm not sure. They've always been here.
How long have you been here?
Well, I've been at this station for only some time, but I mean all throughout our kingdoms, through Teleros, through Plumeria, through the Enclave of Terra. The dead have always wandered.
We've always kind of chalked it up to Fey magic in Plumeria.
Oh.
Well, maybe it is something to do with the Fae. I'm not a huge fan. And you feel your shoulder like grip a little bit.
Not everything the Fae do is bad.
Well, they do look after the woods. I'll give them that.
I don't mean to imply malice. That could have been an accident for all we know.
All we know is no matter how many of them we wipe out, their numbers never deplete. So we've stopped trying to cull them, and we just work around them.
Why are they? I'm gonna like look down. Why are they like afraid of the dead?
Well, the dead, whenever they come across many living people, they rip them apart, eat them.
Great.
Oddly enough, they don't attack the wildlife. We're never certain why, but they attack anyone sentient.
Oh. Just deep down in Weary's subconscious, we are the virus. And then that doesn't actually come out of Weary's mouth.
Okay. Well, do we sleep up on this space, or are there like?
We'll have another
Beds?
set of beds for you.
Okay.
There are many open beds here.
Thank you for your hospitality. I'm sorry for lying earlier.
Oh, I understand these are difficult times, especially with the tragedy of Greenest. There's so many lives lost. A lot of people are on edge. All right, everyone. We'll have someone see you to the beds. A fledgling will come here, and I will look to contacting the brass back at HQ.
Yeah, thanks for your hospitality, Shadespeare. Put in a good word for you.
Thank you, Krotok. I appreciate it. You see this Plumerian shows up. Krotok, you definitely know that they're probably like 13, 14. Plumerians become adults pretty quick, but they still have like some of their feathers are still a little poofy as they're running up. It's this fairly young hawk. Okay. Yeah, beds. Right this way. They lead you to another one of the longhouses, and there are just a number of beds. It's a whole open concept in this area. It's just a lot of like beds lined up. Think of it like almost like a military barracks. Like they're just these bunk beds that are set up all over the place. Yeah, so you can pick any beds on the left-hand side. The right-hand side are taken by the guards here. Yeah, any of the ones on the left.
I walk up real close to this Plumerian. You seem nervous.
I'm not nervous.
You're literally shaking.
It's cold. It is so hot.
You're in a swamp, in a tree. What's wrong?
Is a tree you blew up, Greenest?
Did you have family in Greenest?
No. But everyone's saying that you were involved blowing it up.
I wouldn't say we blew it up. I would say we were there and survived it blowing up.
Okay. Well, there's some water over there. There's a barrel. Just a little tap there. You just twist it, and there's some cups off to the side. And if you need anything to eat, You just ask one of us.
Can I get a read on this person, like an insight check or something?
For sure.
Yeah, like I don't. Not that Weary's good at this, but no harm in trying. A dirty 20 with my +1.
They're definitely
Rare,
new.
Rare form today.
Like this is, they're like fresh out of training. This is probably the first place they've ever been stationed. And now people are here that may or may not have been involved in exploding an entire town and having a doom cube now rotate over it.
We're like terrifying. We're like scary terrorists.
You're
like
potential frightening
We're
terrorists.
we're the first terrorists this person's ever met.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay.
Weary like does like that like
their feathers puff up on their neck. They just flap back a bit.
Don't buck at the baby.
Sorry. It's rare that people are terrified of me.
I look at the kid and be like, just ignore them.
I start cackling for no reason.
Kratok pulls out his lute and strums some comforting chords.
Oh, are you one of the performers in Plumeria? Are you famous?
I wasn't really performer class per se.
Oh. Okay. Can you play something? We don't get music much out here.
Yeah.
Wait, here's Wonderwall.
A little while, but anyways, here's Thunderwall.
No!
Wow. I've never heard this song before.
Oh man, you only get to do this once in your life.
No,
Someone
I'm
who's
just
never
doing
heard
this for now. I'm
Wonderwall.
not singing right now. I don't even have any idea where I'm going to go with this, to be honest.
Okay.
Somebody
So
who's
are you
never heard
using
the
your
Imagine
Wonderwall.
instrument.
flute or...
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so Kratok is just playing this lute and it's calming everyone's nerves. The Telerian is just mystified at this music as they... Teleros isn't... It's not like it's a military kingdom at all. It's just they're a lot more stoic and serious often in their society. So the wonders of Plumeria are always just a little more brighter whenever they hear of them. Well, you sound like you could be real famous.
You know what? I'll give the famous route a go one of these days.
Okay, sir. I gotta go back outside. Oh man.
Hey, just relax. There's no rush for anything.
Yeah. Me and a few of the others sometimes we like going out late at night and just watching the glowing dead. It's so weird what they do.
The what?
The glowing dead.
Yeah, I noticed you said that really casually, so I'd like you to walk it back.
Well, like, you know a dead person?
Familiar.
So like that, but they're glowing and they're walking around.
Oh.
Sometimes they could even talk to you.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Usually
I'm
they're
just
doing
gonna-
things like fixing a wagon or digging a hole or one of them was putting up a sign, like things like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot up in my bunk. Magic mud! Swamp mud! And I just start like having
we
that
can-
realization. I'm like climbing down the
Oh,
chimney.
wait. You don't want to
Cliff is
go
like-
right now.
Cliff
It's
is like-
time. We
We
watched
can
Randos.
add that to
stops
the
you.
list of things to do.
Yes. Not tonight.
I'm gonna forget. I need to go now. I'll find the glowing dead. They're harmless, right?
I will remember for you.
There's also the frog folk. You gotta be careful. I mean, there's other things too. There's wild animals down there.
Well, the frog folk seem to like me. Ish.
You're lucky.
Why is that so menacing?
Wait, Cliff, you're technically not sentient. You're not not well. What if
You're
What?
saying this in front of this bird, and Glyph is
What do
like
you mean?
leaning over you.
What do you mean?
Well, yeah, automata. They're just there to follow commands.
Oh wow, I don't see a lot of automata.
It's more of a running joke because of Glyph's personality.
Oh,
Sometimes, yeah.
so they're just like
It's
kind
a
of boring
cosplay.
person.
Have you ever heard of cosplay?
No.
Oh, it's when you try to act like you're somebody else. Like there was this one somebody in one of the crowds the other day mentioned a cool like show and how somebody was trying to cosplay some like corporate lady. It's like that.
Because
Like,
you're
like-
embarrassed of who you are?
No, you're just it's like play pretend.
Oh. Okay.
But-
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I get it.
Why don't you play pretend to like not be human? Maybe they won't notice.
I have crippling social anxiety. This
So
helps
do
me
I.
cope.
That doesn't stop me.
I'm just blinking really hard.
It's so different seeing people from the other kingdoms. Wow.
I'm exhausted. Like this is pure sleep deprivation. So it's like there's no thought, no head empty.
Are you all from the Arcanium? I heard the people
No.
from the Arcanium are weird.
No,
Are you
Yes.
calling us weird?
Well,
because we are. You're not wrong. We're weird, but not for the reasons that you think we are. I'm tired, and I just crawl back up into bed and fall
I
over.
think we've bullied you enough, Gerald.
Gerald. Oh, is that a cosplay thing?
No, I didn't catch your name, so I'm just guessing.
Oh. Do you want to know my name?
Yeah, sure.
Oh. Well, you should have just asked.
Honestly, I was worried we were overwhelming you, and I was going to give you an out, but
Oh.
did
That's
you
okay.
want an out?
Well, I was having fun. Okay.
So we're not overwhelming you?
No. My name's Swiftwing, though.
Oh, it's a good name.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty fast. Pretty fast, even among my family. I'm probably the fastest.
Nice to meet you, Swiftwing.
Yeah. Okay, well, things got a little weird. I'm gonna leave now. Don't go down on the ground. You
What?
probably shouldn't leave until somebody talks to you about you leaving, because it took people a long time to find you.
Swiftwind? And I want you to be honest with us. Are we prisoners?
That's a complicated word. Prisoner? Wow.
It's a yes or no, Swiftwind.
All right. Well, it's pretty late. I wouldn't say prisoner, but I definitely say person of interest in a well, I don't even think you call it mass murder at this point. I don't. It might even be a war crime.
So
haven't
we
had to deal with that.
survive a war crime and we're in trouble.
Well, you're not in trouble. It's just they need to figure out what's going on. The Felstone people are making a stink. They're always so pushy.
Hmm.
Okay, well, I gotta go on. I gotta preen my feathers now anyways. They're all puffed up.
I do the like at him again.
Oh, I knew you were gonna do
Night,
that time,
Gerald.
though.
You just go back over.
Thank you, Swiftwing.
All right, everyone. Have a good night.
Does this place have a door?
Yeah, there's a door. They
Look
close
like-
it behind them.
Closes the door. And then is like
I did
pulling
not think they were gonna stay that long.
We forced you to give Swiftwind a personality.
Now he has personality. Glyph is like pulling at their scarf and pulling out the bits of food that they were pretending to eat.
I was wondering where that went.
They're like, excellent, Felstone is here. They were the ones hunting us, and they also helped us kill the moon. This is bad.
So we're prisoners, right? That's what I was getting from our guest here.
Yes.
That's not good.
And Glyph like sink, like they've got their back to the door and they like sink to the ground and they have their head on their knees. Like, everyone is after us and we are war criminals.
What?
I'm kind of hanging over the edge of my mattress going, are we really surprised at this point? Y'all set a town on fire.
We set
We
a town
blew
on
up-
fire.
I was not there for that. I was on the moon. Thank you very much.
I really don't think we should be splitting hairs over who was and wasn't involved in the various crimes we've committed.
Look, all I'm saying is it wasn't me.
Yeah, tell
And
them
then
that.
Greenest got blown up.
That was technically
Every
Lady
time.
Bywood.
Every time something goes wrong, I'm on the moon. So technically, I'm innocent. I just fall asleep like this.
It's out.
I look over at Kratok. Does being on the moon count as a legal defense? You strike me as somebody who would know that.
I'm not a legal expert, but I can't think of too much of a better alibi than that.
Oh, it's not bad. If we can get a good lawyer, we might be able to beat this yet.
Would it not have been better to tell the Talarians what we were doing?
We don't know.
More or less did.
For the most part, yeah, we gave them the information that was pertinent.
We did not tell them we were after the Cult of Chaos to stop them.
And what if they hold us here and go, no, the last time you fought the Cult of Chaos, a town exploded?
I mean, to some extent, they're kind of obligated to respect our privacy, like to a certain extent. You know, if we're on a mission, we don't really have to tell them exactly what we're up to.
We don't.
And if they demand that, they'll have some people to speak to that are much less pleasant than us. I'll just put it that way.
I don't think Mr. O'Connell is any kind of government official. I doubt his orders have much sway.
You know, if someone's an actual war criminal, I'm going to guess it's O'Connell.
I was speaking more to the powers that be in Plumeria. Usually Talarians kind of respect that, you know, we do our own thing and they do theirs.
Okay, so there's a lot going on in this place. We have our evil trees, we have glowing trees, we have our roving bands of undead, we have our frog cults, and we have our very understaffed wardens.
TK is out there alone.
With the Darkblade, so not
worse.
alone. Yeah,
He's
that's
with the Darkblade.
much worse than alone.
You could argue TK has even...
Who's that?
Oh, that is Duke Payton.
Oh. Sorry. I'm just so delighted by Forvin.
Or is that Duke Payton or was that
No, it was
Forvin?
definitely Duke Payton inside
I
Gary's
forgot I had it in
backpack.
the
Still in your
sack.
bag.
Oh, you know, it's good we didn't take him out during dinner.
A little bit a harder one to explain.
Yeah. Hey, Duke, how's it going? We're prisoners, sort of.
Like,
Classic.
I feel like actually that probably would have made it so much easier because we're technically working for this asshole.
Isn't
That's true.
but Duke
I am
Payton's
your
been
employer.
Like
Yeah.
like the Duke is our employer. Like we could have just been like, yeah, so this talking bag of bones is paying us.
But the
He's
Duke
a-
was dead initially, so it's not
Well-
helpful to be like the dead guy that hired us.
He is a dead-
Potato.
He's
He is a
sentient.
dead gilded skeleton.
Would
No
like
one
to
we are working
stretch
for.
the old bones.
On the up and up.
You've really embraced your skeleton body a lot faster than I thought you would.
Well, it took a bit, but you know.
I opened the sack so you don't have to muffle your voice anymore, Lucas.
Oh, you know, it's nice that I don't smell anything, I don't breathe, I don't get hungry or thirsty. So, like, honestly, I was just laying here listening to everything. It was pretty relaxing.
You know what, Duke? What do you think about our day's events? Do you have any insight on what we should do next? I'm thinking
Well,
we
frog
could
folk
just...
are gross. That's disgusting.
Alright, don't
I
be-
could only hear them, but
That's a little messed up. We don't know anything about their culture.
well, okay. I completely mowed down an entire forest near my mansion because it just looked unsightly.
Oh, you are... Oh, man, talk less.
What do I think of the situation? Well, we have a few military strong gents around the area. The wardens are generally pretty good. They're on the up and up. I don't feel too worried about them. If they gave us their word on something, they'll follow through. But those filthy cultists are going to be up to something, and they had a week ahead of us, so they had time to plan. And I bet my left shin bone they know we're coming.
You wouldn't bet like an entire femur?
No, just this tibia.
Maybe a rib.
All right.
Those are pretty promising odds.
We could try to escape, but that would earn us the distrust of the Talarians.
I'm
Completely.
sleepy. No.
All right, let's rest up here. If we should sleep in shifts for one.
Not it.
You're already in bed sleeping. I know you're not going to take a shift.
Shut up so I can stay asleep.
I literally don't sleep.
Duke, we're going to call this quiet time.
Just say I could watch.
I don't want to tell you that you can watch. That feels deeply uncomfortable.
I will watch you sleep.
You know, Duke,
I'll
I've
be
been
listening,
wondering.
so I mean, like,
Duke, I've been wondering how you're able to support yourself as a gilded skeleton. It could really help my immortality research. Your soul might not survive the process, though.
well, that's rude.
Wait, do you mean support in terms of like finances or like little body structure?
Actually, does your amount of money physically alter the world around you so you can walk around as a skeleton, or?
I always wondered this. What powers does money have over the people of this world? And I honestly believe that my wealth does give me not only the respect that I deserve and additional privileges that I am entitled to, but I believe my wealth gives me a strength of will and character.
I was going to ask if it messed with people's perception, but it's clearly done a number on yours.
Why? Because
Nothing.
I didn't. Because I'm not poor.
No, just it's fine. It's fine. Just rest up.
Perfect.
Rest
All right,
up.
well, I literally can't.
I'm going to put you in the
I am
bag
stuck
again.
in a constant alert state.
Okay, in the bag you go.
All right.
We can angle him away from the bed so he can't look at us, but he can look at the door.
Oh, you know what? How about that? You stay awake and you watch the door, and if anybody walks through it with any intention, you could just scream about how much money you have.
Ooh, I am so good at that. Did I ever tell you when I first met Lady Arabella Bywood, we had a money off?
Hold on. No.
What is the money on?
Oh, I suppose none of you know. Because you've never had an obscene amount of wealth. Oh, we throw money and servants and priceless artifacts at one another to see who can knock out who.
With terrifying speed, Glyph is back across. They stand up, and he's disassembled, right?
At the moment.
Yeah, and picks him up.
Oh.
And no, all this is in like one motion, and like slams him against the wall. And it's like, when did you meet Lady Arabelle Bywood?
I don't know. How long was I in the Doom Cube?
I don't know.
We wouldn't know
That
the
makes
answer
two
to
of us.
that.
Well, I guess I met Lady Arabella Bywood when I was in my early 20s. I was quite the rogue, I have to say, a gentleman squire, traveling around, and I thought I'd spend a bit of time at the Foundry of Steel, just to see what it's like to brush shoulders with the people who made themselves, you know? Like, they're not born into wealth. They had to work for it. But Lady Arabella Bywood, what a presence she had. She walked into that room and I thought, this is a person with obscene wealth and confidence. They must have been born rich. And, well, we hit it off pretty well. We had a pretty good time. 2 or 3 servants died that night, I'm fairly certain. But what a time we had. Oh, we would travel around in the blimp and we would throw bags of food down. It was generally, we would just watch them scramble for it. And, what a character, though. But, when she betrayed me, I have to say I was very cross with this. I was sorely disappointed, but at the same time, just so much respect.
Betrayed you.
Not shocked. You are. I would
Sold
sell you for a
out
corn
our
chip at this
family.
point, Duke.
Our family had a hidden mansion. Very few knew about it. It's where a lot of us stayed. Lady Arabella Bywood, I brought there. I admit, I was a handsome person. I was courting Lady Bywood, and she seemed interested, but she left one night, and then later that night, who shows up? But that banded mask-wearing son of a bitch. Killed my whole family, turned us into a Doom Cube.
Really sets up the fact that all our enemies are aligned for the cause of chaos.
Yeah. I'm not pressing him against the wall anymore. I'm just holding him very confused. Do I remember any of that? I remember her throwing bags of food and money at people
For
at
sure.
other times.
That was all the time.
I
That's
remember
pretty
all the other
common.
money offs.
To
Yeah, I don't-
people always thought that Lady Bywood was very generous, but she just like kind of did it to like laugh at people. Like she would throw things that people need like down at them from an airship.
Make them fight.
Yeah, fight and scramble for it. But everybody thought, wow, Bywood's really, it's all about that trickle down. But you do know that Lady Bywood traveled a lot, and you often travel with Lady Bywood, but you have no memory of traveling to this mansion.
I do not remember a secret mansion. This may be...
Because it was secret.
I put him on the chair.
Glyph, are you done with the Duke now?
Yes.
Kratok is like irate because he has had proximity to people like the Duke in Plumeria, and they just drive him insane. So he actually does grab the Duke by whatever tracheal bones there are.
Oh.
And his voice gets very deep. He says, "All right, from now on, if we hear you speak, we're going to take it as an alarm that we're supposed to wake up. Do you understand?" Nod.
Can I talk now? This is confusing. When does it start? 3, 2, 1, we begin.
That will be fine. So the Duke is hopefully now our lookout.
Yeah, they're quiet. They're just staring. I mean, you think they're staring. There's no eyeballs. There's 2 gems that are shoved inside the eye sockets.
All right, hopefully we'll have some peace and quiet now.
Yes. Let's all rest up, get up bright and early tomorrow, and see about visiting Resmir's little encampment, assuming they let us leave.
Cliff is wringing their hands nervously. I will take first watch.
So
I'll take second.
You all settle down for the night. And Glyph, you're sitting in one of the chairs that are there. The Duke is pointed towards the door. You can definitely hear the Duke murmuring things while they're sitting there going, "Don't even have any money. They're trying to act like they're better than me," and like things like that while they're there. And but all of you fall asleep quite quickly while Glyph is taking watch. And we leave the Croaken Valley. We fly out of the enclave of Terra. We go to the Arcanium. We travel all the way over to Elusio. There are a number of magic soldiers. I guess not soldiers, but members of magic. They're all wandering down into this cave that is just outside of Elusio. You see, a lot of them are geared up. They have a lot of weapons. Some of them have like these staves that are set up. And we see the one troll woman that Weary had spoken to when Weary was being questioned and intoxicated, and Weary's teacher got drug away. These people are all walking along, and they're going into this cave. And we see that there are like empty supply boxes. There are dead bodies littered about. We see a lot of these bodies are members of the Church of True Chaos. They have like burns on them. Like some of them have been like turned to ice. It looks like clearly there's people who came in here, probably from magic, who took these people out, and now they're just going back in, bringing this troll woman. We see behind this troll woman walking is a tiefling trust.
No.
They are on high alert. as they're wandering, a representative of the Guardians of the Tendrils. They go down to this lower level, and we see that there are a number of these trees that look very sickly. These trees that are for some reason growing underground. If you look closer, these trees have faces on them. They're treants. You see their roots are chained down. And there are cracks that are formed all along them that are glowing green. And the cracks start to split. And ripping out of each of these treants are these massive monstrosities. These piles of flesh and tentacles and eyes and mouths. These Shoggoth pour out of these treants. The members of magic are quickly overwhelmed. We see Trust is hacking at one of them. The troll woman, Arabisha, takes a mask out from her robes and places it on her face.
Oh.
Their eyes glow underneath this mask. They hold their hands open. They yell, "Come to me, my children." We watch as these Shoggoth quickly move. They're gigantic creatures. They're diving into Arabisha. We see that all the members of magic have been slain. Trust is crouched behind a boulder. And all of these go inside Arabisha as Arabisha is growing. This mask is slowly sealing over their face. Their skin is splitting as they slowly shift into a Shoggoth themselves, 30 feet tall, filling up this entire cavern. This mask is shifting and floating around on the outside before it sinks in. Then it slowly shifts and turns towards where Trust is hiding, the entrance they came in. It moves past this frightened tiefling, who's clutching a sword and a shield, staring wide-eyed. And it exits the cave. And that's where we'll call it.
Question.
Yes.
Does Alora sense any of that?
No, that was no godling work.
Well, no, I'm thinking because of the treants.
Oh, no. These have been down there for a long time.
Okay.
Oh, rip.
Rip.
Man. Oh, man,
Oh, we told her where that was.
Yeah.
One time it would have been good to burn the place down.
Yeah.
Cool.
Randos make things worse.
We're being chased.
It's true. This was a moment of, if you went to Elusio, you could stop this from happening, but Greenest would get hit, and then a part of the Dark Blade would get taken. Or if you went to Greenest, you get a part of the Dark Blade, and you can forge the Dark Blade, but Elusio gets taken.
Oh, man.
Well, we'll have to go back at some point anyway.
I think she'll come to us.
Yeah.
Is that all the masks now?
Yeah.
No,
no, there's one last mask.
One missing. Yeah, because we have Resmir, we have Arabisha, we have Banded Mask Pharaoh, we have the robot mask that we blew up.
Yeah.
And we have the secret mask that we have not met yet.
That's right.
Did Arabisha have the was that the eyeball mask or the tree mask?
The tree.
Or okay.
The eyeball mask is the one that's missing still.
Oh boy.
You know where there's probably eyeballs? In the frog hole. We should go into the frog hole.
Frog
see
hole.
what we find.
No.
We should explore the frog hole that I helped develop.
That is like a great rogue thought. There are probably eyeballs in the frog hole.
Yeah.
You can definitely go to the devouring hole. Who was it that decided to throw the pedestal down there?
I want to say it wasn't me.
It was Wes?
I think it was Wes.
So Wes from Plate Mail Games has given us a treat there.
You can blame me for getting like single-mindedly focused on frogs. because
That's right.
it's just the amphibious horror of the weeks to come. So yeah, good stuff.
It was really good, and it was fun. We used the quiet year to develop this whole area, and that game is a ton of fun. And apparently, you can lose the first card you draw from winter. So
Yeah, you can.
I
all
was
right,
going through our DMs, Lucas, because I was looking for something. I couldn't remember where I said Laura was actually from, and I was going through it. And you were like, oh yeah, season 2 is gonna have a lot more demigods and godlings. So and I just read that and I'm like, fuck.
Nice. Well, there's probably a frog demigod now.
Yeah, I was like, great, frogs legs for dinner. Thanks.
They're fun. They're like horrible chicken wings.
yeah.
Disappointing chicken wings is actually a better word for it.
I mean, we already encountered 2 godlings. There was the ooze, and then there was the worms. Those were 2 different godlings. There are a bunch out there, just like, they're always being born. There's always like a constant influx of them, but you'll find them. Don't worry. Or they'll find you, really.
Yeah.
All right. Did you all have fun today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to explore this new area.
Amazing what
this is
happens
cool.
when TK's not yelling at me.
Yeah.
TK's out on a branch with a knife in her teeth.
Yeah,
like-
TK's gone full
full Rambo.
like fighting the predator in the jungle
Gonna
right
rescue
now.
us.
The
Comes
predator
back
is
with
her. She's
Yeah,
fighting her
comes back with
like-
adaptive camouflage. Like, let's go. We have shit to do.
I talked to Eve what's happening with TK, and it'll be very interesting, especially since
Oh,
everyone
boy.
decided that the Dark Blade is with TK.
Hey, Eve, we gave you Darkblade. Have fun with
Yay.
that.
Sorry.
Now you can do your cool like brain blade fighting style that
But we took bubbles, so it's
Yeah,
fine.
we have bubbles.
we do
This
have
is
bubbles.
He's best boy.
And the Duke,
He
who's
took
such a
the
good friend.
dog.
The Duke is on thin ice all the time. I don't even think he can pay us anymore.
The Duke has still access to tons of funds.
Okay, you better start paying us more.
You have to start completing the job.
No, he's paying us for tolerating him.
At this
But
point.
like the Duke should give us grievance pay because he
Honestly.
actively gets in the way.
Yeah.
All right. I gotta.
Let me
scream and
wire
dog,
imaginary
so
money to your accounts.
let's go around the table.
Yes. Wrap up.
All right. So anything you want to recommend, anything like that? I have been your dungeon master for the evening. I've had so much fun entering into this new area and finally bringing in some members of the Warden other than Greta, which is an organization I've been having fun whip up. But yes, we have another show. It is Battle of the Seven Dice, the podcast. It is a tale that follows around a number of people who are from different worlds who are all dragged into an eldritch war. We just did an audio drama special. It is live now. We had 11 voices join us, and Michelle helped me with the writing, as well as Michelle did all the editing for the scripts. And yeah, just so many amazing people. Meg and Jess lent their voices to this, and it is real good. So definitely check it out. We have it up on our podcast feed, as well as I believe it's on YouTube.
And Jason. Jason was the
Oh,
wonderful
sorry,
narrator.
Jason was the
Jason
damn
was there.
narrator. Sorry, my head is all over the place.
I forgot too.
Jason narrated it as so Jason's character Draxir in that podcast is actually from this world. So I got Jason to do the narration, and it turned out really well.
Cool.
Okay. Yes, my recommendation. I want you all to gear up in 2 weeks' time. We have a show coming on Monday, so that's 2 weeks from now. That's on the 14th. It is at 7 p.m. CST, Magnum Opus. Eve will be running the first session. She was unfortunately sick yesterday, so we have changed it. So on the 14th, come check it out. It's going to be a really great Delta Green game. It's going to be spooky as hell. Eve's bringing in the monster horror, pretty hardcore. We have some amazing guests that are playing along with us. We have Luca from Super Idols. We have Waffles from Waffle Maple Syrup. And we have Acer and Megan from the Redacted Files and Amberclave. So it's going to be a ton of fun. I will hand it over to Ian.
Hi, everybody. I was playing Weary today. I was enjoying my time here. I have a small recommendation for you. It'll be available, once we record it. So probably after editing a couple months from now. But I am in a Call of Cthulhu podcast. It's going to be called Beyond the Crumbling Veil. It is going to be released through Pseudonym Social. So if you've been keeping up with Tempest Multi, which I'm also in, it is the same sort of vibe. Well, not the same sort of vibe, but like same umbrella of content. And it's called Beyond the Crumbling Veil. And I'm going to be playing, really digging deep into my roots. I'm going to be playing a 1920s psychoanalyst. So some of you know that my day job is a therapist. So it's really funny to go back and look at all the garbage that didn't work and was mostly nonsense made up by like a dude who used way too much cocaine, and go, yep, this is the maximum reach of the field right now. So that's going to be my character. No drugs involved, just terrible vibes and crime. But yeah, I'm gonna go nuts looking at some stuff that should not be perceived as a psychoanalyst. So look forward to that when it comes out. I'll keep you all posted, but I'm gonna have a blast either way.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Meg.
Hey, I am Meg. I actually had a lot of fun as a Laura today. It was kind of nice to just be like, this sucks. I actually was originally going to change my succulent, and then I was doing research and realized that succulents change color based off of stress. So, get ready for a permanently red succulent, because hello. But I'm gonna have a lot of fun flavoring that later on. So, yay for doing research during the game, but doing research. So there's that. I have a new game I get to be in on Wednesdays starting tomorrow. I will be a part of a show called Queer Society. It is very much the complete polar opposite of what the fuck Ian is doing. As we are going for Jane Austen without the patriarchy and all the gender roles and all the bullshit. It's just we look cute and we're gay. We got to do our session 0 last week, and it is already going to be such a social circle squiggle mess. So we're all very, very excited. I linked the tweet down below. You can find the tweet. I am really bad at time zone math, so it will start at 7 o'clock Central. Words are hard. I'm tired.
7 CST, so yeah.
Yeah. And so I literally was like, I'm too gay for this. I can't. Somebody tell me what time I have to be there, because that's not gonna happen. Because they kept telling me in Pacific, and I was like, I don't do math that far. So we've got that. It's gonna be lots of good vibes. We're already super excited to have all kinds of fun. I actually found out that Roll20, don't tell anyone, they don't have this game up there yet. I don't. So we're actually running it off of a Google Sheet, which is really interesting. So I'm super excited to see how that plays out. But it is based off of a game. It is a like homebrewed version of it, basically. I think it's just called like The Good Society. And it literally is just like it's a card-based kind of game too, so it's a lot easier to play in person. So the online adaptation is real interesting. So it's gonna be lots of fun. Lots of what's that word? Regency hijinks. I was gonna try and do Regency fashion, but I forgot that I'm an educator by day and don't have that time. So yeah, just come say hi. And that's that for now.
I have been watching so much Downton Abbey with my spouse, and it's been a blast, having fun. But is anyone going to be doing like a Maggie Smith accent?
I don't know. We didn't really talk like accents and stuff because setup took a little bit, and so we were kind of just having fun like going through all of that. We didn't really discuss like character tropes, so that'll be real interesting when we get there. And there's like 3 of us that have no clue what the hell we're doing because none of us are Jane Austen, Downton Abbey kind of people. So I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just saw queer on the sign up list and went that one. So yeah,
I don't
it's
watch
gonna be real
period
interesting.
pieces. My mom's all about them, but I'm hooked on this show. But Jess.
Yeah, I'm Jess. I'm art_fantastical on the social medias, and I'm sleepy. So what I want y'all to do is it's almost springtime. So I want y'all to go out and enjoy some sunshine because we all could use it. And soon it will be spring, and that will be good. And that's all. Go get some vitamin D, y'all. Go.
Get outside. Jason.
Hey, I'm Jason _42 here and on Twitter, and Jess stole my fucking idea. No, I will elaborate on it though. I went cross country skiing just over a week ago, and I am fucking bitten by it. It's all I think about, like 50% of the time, and the other 50% of the time it works 100% of the time. No, what am I even saying? Yeah, it's pretty great. Recommend going out hitting some kind of trail. I know for a lot of you good folks that watch and are part of the show, you live in those warm climates where you don't really have the snow to do that. But that's fine, because the next best thing is going hiking, and you can smell a tree. You can go lay in a meadow. You can squawk at some birds. It's good for you. It's good for your brain. It's just a good time. Highly recommend outside.
You can even join.
Anyways,
you can join
thanks
the
for
frog
coming out.
folk, and you can go into the eternal mud sleep, and have a good one. All right, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us. We will see you on Tuesday. Get outside, get some fresh air. Tune in tomorrow for Meg's Queer Society. And until then, we will see you next time. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.